So we thought, who better to offer tips to the Pensacola parade goer than the people who actually ride on the Mardi Gras floats. We visited this nondescript warehouse in Pensacola to talk with some of those very people about what it's like to be on the Mardi Gras floats. So I'm here with members of the Krewe of Lafitte, one of the oldest and largest crews here in Pensacola, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what it's like for them on the floats. So, gentlemen, who wants to start? Tell us a little bit about what you look for when you're riding on the floats. Who catches your eye? Who gets the best throws?
I'm Frank Alvarado. I'm Lafitte to 55th this year. Actually, I look for children. I like to throw to the children. They're really appreciative of getting our throws. We throw a lot of animals, stuffed animals to them, and they enjoy catching them, and their parents get more happy when we select their children.
This is John Mansell. I'm one of the vice presidents, and what I really enjoy is the pretty ladies. And we throw a lot of beads to the kids too, and stuffed animals, and we just try not to run out of anything, but always have a great time with everybody.
When it comes to that running out of beads and stuff, I mean, how do you guys conserve throws on such a long parade route like this?
Well, I can tell you there's no conservation with the Krewe of Lafitte. When they buy beads by the cases, and many $100s just to be thrown in a parade. So there is no conservation. Everybody gets a stuffed animal if they have them. I would say that on the float we probably have close to 1,000 stuffed animals for a parade route. And what I look for in the crowd is anyone that is respectful towards the riders and the children. I like to take care of them with the bigger the beads. I throw everything that I have, and I'm Carl Nesselmore, one of the vice presidents.
Now, gentlemen, you guys have all been doing this for some time. What are some of the things that you've seen parade goers do that maybe they need to abstain from or shy away from? Just some unsafe things or general things that you've seen that maybe don't need to go on during a parade?
What I've seen, some of the people that are not appreciative, they'll catch a bead and throw it back and hit you in the face. I've been hit with them.
What happens if somebody jumps the barricade? I mean, I imagine from time to time, you know, with these big, huge beads you guys throw, that happens. I mean, has there ever been an issue with anything like that?
Well, I know that from time to time some of the children try to cross the barricade and come in towards the float as it's traveling. And we do have walkers to try to protect and make as much safety precautions as possible. But, you know, that's why they put barricades up, to try to keep the children out.
Sure. Now, as far as you know, safety goes for you guys, I mean, what are some of the complications or problems that you guys have riding on these floats? I imagine you get warm in those rather lavish costumes.
Jack, you can answer that.
Hi, I'm Jack Braley. I'm one of the members here. It does get a little bit of warm at Fiesta, but for Mardi Gras, it's always comfortable. Some of the safety issues, I mean, we've got plenty of safety equipment on board, and we take care of everything. And like he said, we have walkers out there, and then the police do a great job of keeping up with people. And as long as nobody gets totally crazy, they'll let them grab something and get right back behind it. And usually the police will just pick it up and hand it to them.
Hi, I'm Don Richards. This is my second year in the crew, and kind of excited to be in the Krewe of Lafitte.
No doubt. So tell us a little bit about what your first year experience was riding on this float.
That was really exciting. I was really surprised at the kid aspect of it, because I thought it was more adults. You had a few kids around, but then when all of a sudden you see how excited the kids get, and they're right down in front, having a few throws like this really means a difference.
Now, it seems like you guys have a lot of really big throws. I mean, is that just common for you guys, or?
Well, we try to do a little bit nicer throws than some of the other crews do. It certainly doesn't do any good to throw the cheap beads. The people like to catch the bigger beads, the nicer beads, the nicer throws. But I haven't had any of the stuffed animals thrown back at me yet.
Now, you were talking a little bit earlier about what it's like when you sort of come down Palafox into that main corridor there just past Garden Street. Talk a little bit about.
There's absolutely nothing like seeing 50,000 screaming people on both sides, just like, you know, just throwing their hands up and jumping up and down and screaming. And I mean, it's deafening. I've had people that I know, you know, holler at me to throw something. I don't even see them. You can't see them because you can't hear them because and there's so many people. But it's just nothing like you've ever experienced. It's a wonderful, wonderful time.
Can't imagine. Now, gentlemen, it seems like you guys have this float pretty well organized. Talk a little bit about some of the commodity, or some of the amenities you guys have on board, and just how you guys set this thing up.
This is our #1 float. This is the float that the court rides, and so we made this specifically for them. We carry some drinks along with it. We also have the facilities on the float. It's set up so that we can set up the whole court in here, and the board. The board members are also ride this float.
Now, I noticed that looking around on the railings and stuff, I see names on duct tape and everything. How do you guys determine who goes where?
Well, the board and the court rides the float, and it's usually a first come, first served wherever you want to ride. But there's never a problem whatsoever. On this float, along with 4 other floats in our flotilla, we do have a cannon. And I can tell you, when you hear the cannon fire, Lafitte is on his way.
Okay. Now, is there a better spot to be on one of these floats? Does anybody have a favorite spot that they go after year after year?
A lot of people do have favorite spots, and they have favorite floats that they like to ride. And each float has a float captain each year, and we rotate each year. And so a lot of the float captains like to stay with the float that they've been on, but some of them want to move around. And I've ridden probably half the floats we have, maybe more. And I mean, there's not a bad spot. It's fun every time. When you like John said, when you go down Palafox and people are screaming at you, it's your experience to be a rock star there for a few minutes. It's a lot of fun.
Now, talk about riding the float itself. I mean, I know these things are built. You guys build and maintain, these dozen floats, but these things have to get moving pretty good when you got 15 or 20 grown men on these things, right?
The floats actually they rock pretty hard, so we haven't had anybody fall off yet. But I mean, we built the sides up high, so we try to keep them fairly safe.
Each float has a sound system, so sometimes the floats get rocking to the music pretty good.
Okay.